available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Look, I've thought about 100 ways of how I was going to do this, but I actually don't know how because I've never been in this position before. So I think I'll just, I'll get right into it. We owe... I guess we've never been in this situation yet. I mean, I've been... It's actually sad because I don't know how to address this. I've never actually been in this situation. I don't think... Actually, that's a lie. I always knew that it would eventually come to this. I just didn't want to believe it. I actually had faith that it would turn out differently. It's really quite sad. Okay, I'll start from the start. I feel like we owe the That's Not Right audience a bit of an explanation. I mean, the last 3 weeks we've seen something which hasn't happened to this degree. We've had 3 different guests, and you've been missing. And there hasn't been any word of it. No one's sick or away. And I got sick and tired of sort of fielding questions about it. So I honestly thought you would have sort of come forward and made an attempt to, even just to instigate something. But I guess I don't know. It's not even lack of faith. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, it's actually quite sad. I don't know how to actually put it. I woke up the other day and I had text messages from Nick just saying, I'm not going to believe this. Like he goes, I woke up and I had these messages from Nick saying, he checked in to see if you had actually read the messages he had sent you on through, Facebook, just to see if you'd seen them. And by accident, he thumbs up you as he's sort of scrolling, and then you replied, and all Nick said was, I was going to flip. I woke up to this stuff, and I died. It was to be expected, but dude, you haven't. I actually don't know how to fucking put it, man. It's really pathetic. Because there's no nice way to put this, and I've spent more than 2 years, being very diplomatic and watching what I say, even though you take everything fucking to heart. I've really tried to not hurt anyone's feelings, but that's the fucking problem. No one's ever actually hurt your feelings. Everyone's too fucking afraid to do it. I don't know why. And so there is no nice way to do this. It's literally, it is what it is. Basically, to summarise, I don't want to get into anything too personal because this is broadcast, and we've done a lot of broadcasting our personal lives on That's Not Right, but I really don't want to do that. Not for this. There's personal and then there's business. The problem is when you take liberties personally and it affects the business, that's when things don't go the way they should, in a manner of speaking. I'm really trying here not to hurt your feelings, but at the same time, I don't fucking care. So, quite frankly, I've fucking carried the fucking load for 2 years, and some shit just has to be said. You send Nick a text saying you wish, we would have just said, we didn't want to do the podcast with you, and rather than just exclude you and ignore you, and you just didn't expect it, and life goes on, and yada yada yada. And it's like, you know what, man? We didn't exclude you. We didn't ignore you. You excluded yourself. We have that WhatsApp thread, that I started when we first started talking about doing this thing, and it used to be literally the most, active thread on my phone. I used to love opening it up, and there'd be like banter between all three of us, and we'd be talking shit and cracking jokes, and it built up hype for the next episode, and that's really what got the ball rolling. Just the fact that we were all mates and we gelled, and just taking it to that next level was fucking hilarious. But that stopped a long fucking time ago, around the same time when you quit your job, and then you just start going MIA. I mean, episodes are generally on Wednesday. We wouldn't hear from you till Tuesday night, when one of us would say, hey, are we doing this tomorrow or not? And you'd come out and say, yeah, cool. And then Wednesday would come and go, and then we wouldn't hear from you till Tuesday night again, when we'd reach out to hear from you, to see if you'd come down. Never once did you actually instigate anything. And with that kills. I mean, the banter was gone. I still enjoyed Wednesday, but it was more laboured because it felt like we were pulling teeth just to get you there. And then when the no-show started, and just combined with that, I mean, you weren't a mate to either of us at that point. It's like you forgot the reason why we were even meeting up. I think that what got me, though, the most was the fact that, in your messages to Nick, you said to him, it was fun, and, you still think he's a cool dude, so no hard feelings. But, you wanted your stuff to be organised for me to organise to leave your laptop and your PS3 and stuff at South Melbourne, because you really couldn't be fucked seeing me, It's like, really? That's what you got? Mate, if it wasn't for me, Nick would have been out of this podcast after a fucking month or two. Do you think he tolerates drunk stoners in his personal time? I mean, we're all busy, we all work like fucking lunatics, but for the first 6 months, you were rocking up to this thing off your face. And this is no secret. I mean, we've broadcast all this, so I'm really trying to, tread the line here. I don't want to overstep the mark. I'm not going to go, like I said, I don't want to go into too many personal things. But this is all stuff that's on public record, which you may have forgotten. But when I looked at doing this podcast, the first thing, because I mean, this is your first media venture, really. It's your first venture generally. And I mean, I've been doing media for how long, and I've had so much shit blow up in my face because I put faith in the wrong people, or I expected people to do the right thing by me when, I didn't actually think they would. I just hoped. But you look at it in the terms of a business, and you just got to run a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is basic business 101: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Because it was all audio based. I do audio. It'd all be internal. It wouldn't cost anything external, from outside, other than rent for a perspective, like studio spot or whatever. And you came to me and you asked me to set this up for you, and I did. There were no weaknesses. The only weaknesses were that neither you nor Nick had broadcasting experience. Nick had a bit of recording experience, but that's more or less it. And we'd build from it. No, I didn't know what podcasts were, didn't listen to them, so I was just going by what you were saying and my own research. But honestly, the only threats I could think of and weaknesses was the fact that you were a functioning, the only threats I could think of was the fact that you were a liability. I didn't think it'd be this bad, and especially not at the start when it was terrible. Growing pains, you warmed up to the mic, which is fair enough. I think we all did. We came a long way. But at the same time, it was a lot of fucking work. There was a lot of anxiety. It was a lot of, were you going to rock up to the fucking thing? Were you taking it seriously? And all that sort of shit. Man, my anxiety towards the last 6 months were fucking ridiculous. More or less since you quit your job and you lost any form of routine. And you went into your own sort of thing. When you said that you were going to quit your job, you had enough of where you were and you wanted to move on and do something else for yourself, I thought, fucking brilliant. I wish I had the balls to do that. My entire life that's been my one weakness. I think it's the end. I can't let go of whatever job I have because there's nothing else out there and I have too many bills and shit like that. So that was a good thing. You know, you're doing it. But it literally meant you were doing nothing. But then your communication with us dropped off, your involvement. Yeah, actually, you know what, man? I think I know when you stopped. I took this as far as I could, but with what I had, based on one thing, that you were my friend, and regardless of whatever your personal life was or whatever situation you're in, you were my friend, and I was going to do this as well as I could because I wanted to see if I could help you get out of your rut like you were going to help me get out of mine. You know, that's initially what it was. But I think I know when. I actually know exactly when I realised something wasn't right. It was the Conor McGregor fight. Yeah, the Mayweather-McGregor fight. You were the one that first raised it. We all three of us discussed it at length, you know, like for nearly a fucking year. Like we were talking about it and, you know, our thoughts, our predictions and strategies and blah, blah, blah. You know, and we all flipped on who was going to win, and we made the biggest deal about where we were going to watch it, and, you know, it was going to be this fucking grand occasion. And then Nick had to work, you know, and he said, look, I can't do it, I've got to work. It really sucks, but, you know, that's the breaks. You guys should still go and do it. And so I said, all right, well, we'll do it at the pub, you know, around the corner from your joint. Easy, you know, and then we started getting guys from work, they were all in, and everyone was in. Yeah, sweet, we're all in. Day comes, we all go to the pub. I don't see you there. You know, I think I may have texted you or called you, but, you know, I didn't hear from you. I think I definitely would have sent a message in WhatsApp. Like if I search it, maybe I'll find it, but it's not the point. But you weren't there. You know, rocked the fight anyway. It was, you know, it was a great day. Then the next podcast, you know, we brought it up, and Nick raised it straight away. He said, where were you? You know, did you watch it? You're like, yeah. Where'd you watch it? You're like, at home. And then you said, that's not even what bothered me. You know, you said, oh, you know, we changed the location. It went from being at your house to a dirty, loud, you know, pub, blah, blah, blah. It was uncomfortable, this, and that. And I said, all right, fair enough. Okay. But then you said that you were watching it with whoever you were watching it with, like a mate of yours. And it's like, wait a second. You watched this fight at your house with another mate. You didn't even think to fucking message me to say, hey, dude, like, I can't be going to the pub. Do you want to just come and watch it at my joint? And then it got me thinking, like, that's fucked, because since, you know, say I moved into my place 5 years ago, I've openly invited you to everything. You know, we used to do footy nights at my house. You know, I'd drive out to yours whenever back in the day before, like, you know, years ago when I still lived at home. But then, you know, I'd invite you to shit all the time. We'd invite you to shit all the time, and you made one appearance at Nick's house, you know, a year and a half ago, whenever it was. But you'd do all this stuff, but you'd never actually invite us to anything. But we'd constantly be inviting you to stuff, and you'd just bar it. And it's like, well, man, are you even my friend anymore? I don't get it. I think that was really the first sort of, what the fuck? Anyway, so, you know, at that point, all your messages stopped in WhatsApp, and, you know, I'm reading your thing. Like, I'm looking at the response, what you sent to Nick, and I'm just like, you know, I think what really bothered me as well was the fact that, you know, you big note yourself on the fact that, you know, we started this podcast together, you know, and would always, you know, consult each other and stick together and all this sort of shit, when in reality, you haven't done anything aside from turn up. And I'd be biting my fucking nails to the very end. And when I mean by anything, I mean, you know, when we were setting it up, I was full well aware that I'd be doing the majority of the, you know, the editing and all that sort of stuff, because that's just my niche. But, you know, you said to me you'd help with graphics. You never did. I told you play by play what you had to do in order to upload shit to YouTube. And you said, yep, cool. You took it on. You did about 20 episodes or whatever it's at now. I don't even know. And then you left it. I gave you, you know, Instagram to take over, because I got sick of handling every social media platform. You did that for, you know, a month, and then that stopped. So for the last 2 fucking years, I've been handling the editing of the entire fucking thing, the social media, scheduling posts on social media relevant to whatever we talk about, the production cards all the graphics, our logo, our marketing, not to mention the, actually rocking up to every episode and driving the whole fucking thing. And, your claim to, your sore point to Nick literally was that, you paid for the hosting since it started. Yeah, you did. The $15 or whatever it is per month because you volunteered to do it. I paid for a whole bunch of shit to start up the fucking thing outside of what I actually told you guys. But I didn't care. It was all in good faith. You want to do the maths on $15 times fucking 16 months or whatever it is, because quite frankly, we haven't hit 2 years yet, and your credit card bounced a couple months ago. I asked you if you were going to sort it out. You said, yep, you didn't. So our hosting got taken offline. Someone messaged me and said, dude, I can't get a hold of your podcast. What the fuck? So I took over from that point. I asked you what the deal was. You never said anything about it. So I'm glad, that's where you put the value of this thing. And it really shows me just how much you actually appreciate everything I've actually fucking done for this podcast. I tried to pull you in line, 6-7 months into it, and I said, look, man, this is bullshit. I'm working my balls off here. You get to rock up to the podcast, maybe stoned, maybe not. Then you went clean, for a while, and then, people messaged me the other day saying, dude, is he fucking drinking on the podcast? I'm like, yeah, he had a beer. He's a grown man, he can do whatever he wants. But I said to you flat point blank, I said, how well would this podcast go if I literally came in, baked? And you said to me, not very well. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So why the fuck do you get the liberty to do that and I don't? Seriously. It just shows just how fucking little you even respect the fact that we're making this sacrifice. Nick gave up his fucking warehouse space. Someone's paying the rent on that fucking thing, man. They could easily be using that for something else. But we got it for us. I don't get it. And then that's the thing, man. You combine that with the fact that, we ring the fucking bell every week. And, you come out, you motion, and we come running like fucking rats. Oh, yes, Your Highness, we'll be there. How many fucking times did you literally not rock up, slept in? From what? I get mental health days, we all fucking have had them. I get it if we're all busy, but didn't you have any interest in actually doing the fucking thing? Because if you did, surely you'd be chasing the fucking thing up. Forget us. Pretend we're fucking hot garbage. Never occurred to you to actually send a message? I actually haven't fucking seen you for, 6 weeks? 6 weeks. You know what's funny, man? I ran into your brother at work yesterday. I haven't seen the kid since Christmas, since we were doing all the mixed up hours, and I ran into him. And he said to me, dude, you come and, to watch the footy at Mark's next week. And I'm like, yeah, for sure, man. Opening round. I might get there late because I'm going to be working till 8:30, but I'll be there. I might miss the first quarter. And he said to me, can you please drag my brother along? I said, dude, I haven't seen him in 6 weeks. He hasn't responded to a fucking text. He's like, what are you talking about? He goes, aren't you guys doing the podcast? I'm like, no. I go, we're doing the podcast, but he simply didn't check in. And I got sick of fucking dragging him to it. Think about that, man. The fact that your fucking brother doesn't even know where you are. But you want to play the card that we just excluded you? If I want to exclude you, I would have fucking done it 2 years ago. But because I was your friend, because I am your friend, I carried it to give you something to work towards and just give you a breakup, changing a routine and something we could build together. But to say you've paid for the hosting and a bunch of other stuff, yeah, cool, man. All the fucking work I've done for free to get us our printing and shit. You paid for one round of it for $50. The other slots, who paid for that shit? I did. Who the fuck designed the fucking thing? You want to take 10 to 15 hours of work a week minimum, times that by 2 years, charge it at maybe $20 an hour, which is not what an audio engineer would fucking get, or a graphics designer. But let's just make it nice and simple. How much do you think I'm fucking worth in all this? But your $15 a week gives you the right to treat us like shit, disregard anything we say, rock up fucking blitzed off your brain, and you really want me to keep dragging you along? Why the fuck would I keep doing that, man? Are you that much better than us? I don't understand it, man. I really don't. And the fucking topper, man, the topper was, you saying that organise for me to leave your laptop at at the studio, and you go and grab it with the TV and the PS3. You can't be fucking seeing me. You can keep the mic. I'm not fussed. It's like, dude, what are you going to act like some sort of fucking, dejected ex-girlfriend that says, pack up my shit, leave it at the fucking door. I'm not fucking dealing with him. It's like, dude, you fucked up, not me. Not me by a fucking long shot. I fucked up because I kept this going for as long as I did with no fucking input. Seriously, man. And that's the thing, man. I don't want to fucking hurt your feelings. And the few times we've had arguments in WhatsApp, it's been over pretty generic shit, pretty run-of-the-mill stuff you just don't see, you don't want to fucking realise. And you make it out like I'm insane. Like, dude, no. Nick is biting his fucking tongue. I'm fucking, because I was closer to you than he was. I feel like I have the fucking right to say what I think. But, dude, you can't just be wrong and then wall up, put your shit up, put your walls up, and then say everyone else is fucked up. I'm the genius. And then you said to Nick that I changed the passwords on SoundCloud like you're some sort of criminal. It's like, no, I changed the passwords on SoundCloud because my credit card's attached to it now. Facebook, Insta, Twitter, YouTube, all the other platforms you fucking neglected, they're all still kicking. Same password, same everything else. I changed the SoundCloud login because my fucking credit card's connected to it now. I don't get it. How fucking deluded are you, man? Yeah, you said to Nick that you messaged us and we ignored you and then did an episode with someone else. When did you message us? Do you know what's going on in my life, man? I missed one fucking message. Man, I will send you screenshots of all the messages that I've sent you that you have not responded to. Including, if you want to look at actual phone text messages, not WhatsApp or anything like that, literally the last two messages are, dude, it was after you did a no-show. You didn't want to rock up. And so I texted you and said, dude, do you want to fucking catch up and have a beer or a coffee or something? Do you want me to come and grab you? Do you want me to come up to you? You want to have a chat? Like, what's going on? And the next one literally was, dude, where are you? I would ask you questions point blank, and you would ignore them for 2 weeks. And you're going to put it down on us ignoring you for a single message? Really? Is that how precious our response times have to be? Dude, were you fucking levitating above everyone else? I'm fucking over it, man. Do you understand what that feels like, man? Like, you put no fucking value in friendship at all. And this is nothing that I'm fucking making up. You look at anything you've said on the podcast, man, it always resorts back to you leaving responsibilities, leaving your problems and being alone and just, dwindling in your own fucking thoughts. That's a common theme, man. And I've said this to you as a friend, but I've been very diplomatic about it. I've said it to you on the podcast as well. But you've got this fucking narcissistic overlay over everything, man. This narcissistic fucking tone to everything, like you're above everything. And, because of your conspiracy theories, one day the world will unravel and you will never have to fucking work because, the powers that be fucking hold us all in line and yada, yada, yada. Dude, you've done fuck all since you quit your fucking job. And you started withdrawing from us as well. Like, man, if you want to withdraw from your job, withdrawal, I don't give a shit. But, don't pretend like we're fucking mates when you won't even return a fucking phone call or a text. I get it, people are busy. Before you go to bed, shoot me a fucking good night. I don't give a shit. Just so I know you're alive. I've texted your brother looking to see if you were fucking alive, man. And that's the thing, man. Even now, you were never booted off the podcast. We brought people in because you disappeared, and I got sick of chasing you. You need to remember that, mate. You need to make that distinction clear in your fucking head. You were never booted off the fucking podcast, ever. When we first started it up, we shortlisted a whole bunch of people that we were going to interview. People would bring in, do guest spots. Like Prince Arthur was one of the first people, and you know what? He was the safe bet because he knew you. He actually knew you and me. And I said, you know what? Prince Arthur's a gun. Like, it would be a good guy to bring on. He's very, informed. He's funny. Yada, yada, yada. But he knew you. He knew what to expect from you. I shortlisted a whole bunch of my friends, people I knew, contacts, etc. And then I thought about it, I'm like, man, I can't bring any of these fucking people on. You're the liability. These are people that are, respected people within their fucking fields, in the pillars of the community and all that sort of shit. Oh man, if you don't rock up, or you rocked up smashed off your fucking gourd, or start referencing your dick or something, it's going to fucking embarrass me. And it's going to embarrass you, but the problem is you won't feel embarrassed. But as your friend, I'm fucking protecting you, because I actually care about you and I don't want to see your feelings get hurt. At the same time, it's becoming more fucking apparent that you've never actually had your feelings hurt, because you've been like a protected species for the last fucking 20 years. Dude, it isn't 2001. What was cool in high school isn't fucking cool anymore, man. And that's the problem. You've got a child, man. You have a fucking daughter. And I always backed you on that as well. I said, you know what? Regardless of what you do, you've always fucking been there for her and you've supported her and you've provided. You used to work stupid hours to provide for your daughter, and you said it yourself. If everything you've ever fucked up, this is something you didn't want to ruin, and you went all out on it. At the same time, man, she's 4. I'm pretty sure in another year she's going to realise, her dad's an unemployed fucking narcissist. You need to think about that sort of shit, man, before you start blaming everyone else for excluding you. No one fucking excluded you. You excluded yourself. I'll channel Trollman, seeing as you're still cool with him. I'll channel his words, because I guarantee you this is something that he'd fucking bring up. Let's pull out a Metallica reference like we have all these fucking podcasts. Dave Mustaine was part of fucking Metallica until his substance abuse and ego got out of hand, and they gave him 1,000 fucking options to reform and just come to terms with the whole scope of the situation. It was a fucking liability, so they booted him out, and he had every opportunity to fix something about it. But the difference is you're not Dave Mustaine, and I'm not Kirk Hammett. We're not incredibly fucking talented. All we have is this podcast. But I guarantee you that if I didn't bring my piece to the fucking table, the podcast wouldn't have happened at all. If the podcast was left to you, it wouldn't have gotten off the ground more than fucking maybe a bit of paper and a fucking word like we had that, 5 a.m. that day, like nearly 2 years ago. You need to fucking wake up, man. I said it to you. You need to get some form of help, man. The help's there. You've got it. You have got the resources. You've got access to everything, and so many people don't have. That's the problem. I don't know where you get this fucking entitled bullshit from, man. You make it out like you're a victim, or you play the fucking, blame game, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, don't fucking blame anyone else for shit. It's all well within your control. There's no shame or, nothing wrong with asking for fucking help. You can do it. I've fucking done it. There's no shame in seeking help from anyone. But you need to wake up to yourself first. I'm fucking accessible, man. I just got sick and tired of messaging you for nothing. Simple as that. I don't hate you, but I'm not going to jeopardize all the fucking work I put into this thing every single fucking week. If I could just rock up, have a smoke, talk shit for 3 hours, go home and play with myself, then fine, man. Let it run. Do whatever you want. But it hasn't been like that, man. I've literally spent 10 to 15 hours a fucking week working my balls off, trying to get this thing off the ground. But what for? Seems like you didn't want to fucking be a part of it anymore. You were just waiting for us to make a move, and you took this as your opportunity. Literally. You need to remember that, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, at this point, like I said, I never booted you out. It wasn't me colluding. There was no fucking collusion. You didn't rock up. You didn't message us. You didn't seem to give a fuck. So, I still remember the night as it played out. After you bailed, you were still feeling sick because you felt sick, from over the weekend, and then you were still sick you were going to be sick on the Wednesday morning. And Nick literally had to text you at 10:30 at night saying, dude, are we fucking doing tomorrow or not? Because if you're still sick, then let me know so I can plan my day. I mean, the guy's got a 5-month baby, And you're like, no, I'm still pretty crook. All right, cool. Couldn't message us to tell us that. Got to 10:30 and we had to message you. Now I said to Nick, I go, just leave it, man. Let him recuperate. If he's sick, he's sick. We had last week off because of Valentine's Day. You were working flat chat. We'll leave it. He can take his week, But if he doesn't contact us next week, the guy clearly doesn't give a fuck. At that point, it'd been over a month since I last saw you. Anyway, and then, a week goes by, we don't hear from you. We've messaged you, nothing. It gets to that Tuesday, and Nick texted me and said, dude, are we doing tomorrow or not? I'm like, man, I haven't heard anything from him. He's ignored us fucking how long? Surely if he wants to actually do something, he'd fucking show some initiative. Even just to say, go fuck yourselves. You didn't say anything. We left it to about 11:15. And I said, what do we do? He goes, well, he hasn't fucking messaged us, man. See if Tits wants to do it. I'm like, alright. Texted Tits. Hey, man. You free for the podcast tomorrow? I was like, yeah, sweet, I'm in. What time? 10. I'll be there with bells on. That was it. Like the weight was just lifted off my fucking shoulders. I wasn't going to go to bed biting my nails thinking, is this guy going to rock up? And if he does, who's going to rock up? The good, the bad, or the fucking ugly? And that's the point, man. You stopped being my friend a long, long fucking time ago. You didn't involve me in anything you were doing, personally. You didn't talk to me. You didn't share anything with me. My mum, man, my mum wasn't well over Christmas. At all. She was fucked. I was fucked. It was a lot to fucking deal with, like, that period. And you, of all people, should know that. I shared with you most of what's going on with me. So you're up to date. I trusted you. I valued your opinion. But, man, I didn't even see my mum for nearly 2 months. Probably just over 2 months. I didn't see her. But, fuck with me, would make a date with you every single week, even if it meant not hearing from you at all. My mum would leave me messages and I wouldn't get back to her for 2 days because I was flat out. But if you texted in the WhatsApp thread, my world literally ground to a halt. Fucking alarms would go off. And I'd be diving for the phone to respond because I had you awake or alive or responsive. You know how fucking dumb that makes me feel? Fuck that, man. Dude, like, seriously, think about it. I haven't spoken to the old man for like 2 fucking years. I haven't spoken to my sister for nearly 3-4 months. You think I give a fuck? There's some dumb cunt out in the gully that's treated me like a piece of shit? This isn't going to hurt me any more than getting this off my fucking chest. I don't like being taken for a fucking ride, man. I don't like being taken for granted. It's more importantly, and you fucking know that. My door is always fucking open, dude. Always open. Should you have the nerve to actually give me a call. But you know what, man? Don't text Nick and say, I wish you guys would have said that you didn't want to do anything and fucking exclude me, blah, blah, blah. Leave my shit in the bag at the front so I can come and get it. Grow some fucking balls, man. Be a man. Be a fucking man. Take some responsibility for some shit in your life, dude. I guarantee you no one's ever paid the courtesy to give you a 40-odd minute fucking message telling you just why they're upset and how you fucked up. And that they're still willing to fucking talk to you about things. I guarantee you no one's ever fucking done that. But you know what, man? I'd like to see the high caliber of individuals that you fucking congregate with every night, if you actually go out at all, just to see, what tier of fucking society I need to sort of, assent to, just to make the cut, man, just to warrant, a phone call or a message. Like I said, man, I'm trying not to be extremely personal with this shit, but, we're getting... At this point, man, we're getting nearly, we're getting 2,000 odd plays a month across, a couple of different mediums, man. This podcast actually picked up traction somehow, and that's all the sweat off my back. Not because you fucking pushed it forward, man. That's me working my balls off to keep promoting this thing and spamming it like a virus. People actually listen to this shit week in, week out. And you have no idea how fucking grateful I am for that, man, that people actually take the time to listen to us fucking ramble for a good 3 hours every week. They're owed a fucking explanation. I want this thing to keep going. I've built it to what it is now. But, come on, man, it's a two-way street. If I've done something that, I'm not aware of, then fucking tell me. But have the balls to actually tell me. Don't just fucking hide. And then play the you excluded me card because you didn't pick up the phone for a month? How's that my fucking fault? You said to me when this first started and we got into it, you said to me you wanted this to be your job. And I said, yeah, so do I. I'd love for it to be. It's awesome. Nick had said to me, a couple months late in, he's like, if this was his job, he would have been sacked 3-4 weeks ago. And I agreed. I agreed 100%. But because I was your fucking friend, I took it for as long as it went. I don't know what to tell you, man. We all have fucking problems. But the world isn't out to fucking serve you. You get up, you fucking make the most of it. That's it. No one's ever fucking paid me any fucking, favours. Every day something shits on me. I'd share it in the thread, we'd laugh about it, and then we'd keep going. For fuck's sakes, man. I can't force you to have ambition. I can't force you to do anything. But I don't need to apologise for shit. I don't need to consider your feelings anymore. I refuse to be a fucking enabler. You can go ask my sister how that's gone. I'm not enabling anyone anymore, man. No one catered to me. No one catered to my ego. No one catered to my feelings. No one ever gave a fuck about that sort of shit. I'm not playing this bad boy fucking truant card because I live a privileged life, far more fucking privileged than half the people out there in the world. I actually have something to show for it, and I'm fucking proud of everything that I've actually done. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes, and there's shit that I have that I'm not proud of. But I appreciate everyone around me. I appreciate people that take the time to fucking listen to my shit. I appreciate the people that take the time to call me and say, let's hang out. Are you okay? I appreciate all those people, and I let them know when I can. And if all I can do is return their fucking phone call, then that's what I'll do every fucking time. You need to fucking do that, man. Take stock of who you are, what you have, what you should be fucking doing for yourself. I've got nothing left to say, man. You know where I am. If you want to mope, piss and moan, then do it on your own time. I'm having a fucking bar of it, I'll tell you that right now. I don't have half the fucking ego you do, man. But at least I have something to show for my fucking hard work. Even though it's nothing. I don't consider it shit. But, you can be Bart Simpson for the rest of your fucking life and say, I can do that, but I don't want to. Proof of that, fuck that, man. I've got a video of you chasing my car down the street because you were convinced that you could run, you could keep a pace that Olympic athletes can keep. For at least, a fifth of the time that they do. These fucking Olympians train their entire lives, don't take a drug, don't eat wrong. Science, defines their fucking bodysuits and their footwear. But you could keep the pace of an Olympic athlete for at least a fifth of their range. 20%. According to you, 20%. You could achieve 20% of what they do on the highest level of athleticism. Without even breaking a sweat. Get fucking real, dude. Seriously. You're a grown man. Act your fucking age, man. Like I said, you're not a bad person. I know you don't actively... You're not a sociopath. You don't want to do shit to make it harder for other people. And act against other people just to get your fucking way. You're not that, but you're too lethargic for your own fucking good, man. You need to, display some accountability. Seriously. You're not a bad person. If you were, then I wouldn't have gone this far. You would have had your head kicked in a long time ago. And it's never going to come to that. Because I don't hate you. I'm just over it. And then for you to turn around and play this entitled bullshit card, like we booted you out or something, like, get fucked, man. And then to put the stock in of that, you paid for the hosting for 16 months. Fantastic, dude. I'll send you my fucking bill, and then, I'll square the difference off. See, I wouldn't have put value in that at all, man. I would have just done it, kept my mouth shut. If you turned up every week, treated me like a human being, treated me like a person, treated me like a friend. But you didn't. You stopped a long fucking time ago, man. And that's where it is. It's entirely in your hands, man. I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question. You ever actually gone to see anyone professionally for help? Okay. Have you ever gone and done not a focus group, have you ever done like a...
That shit, dude. None of that.
Okay.
Shit. I can't. Me and there would just be like, what? Nah.
Yeah. Do you know what that is, man? That's reality, man. Yeah. Dude, that's confrontational. That is confrontational shit.
The punch in the gut.
Yeah. That's it. Dude, okay, look at it this way, yeah? What if I said to you, okay, no more booze in the dojo, period. What would you do? Duke Leverage out.
Oh,